In this next one, I will focus a little bit on the SPDSX because it's such a great sampler and it's still the only true sampling pad on the market. It's the successor of the SPDS. But the most important thing, now it's not only a sampler, but it's also a great working tool for any drummer who is on and off stage. How many of you have this typical problem that you need to be in a cover band or in a band and you have a metronome which normally works in rehearsal but never does on stage? Who has this experience? Okay. So what usually happens, you have a Dutch drummer. Is there anyone who's Dutch or from Dutch ancestors? Good, let's have some fun. Anyway, your predecessors, before they immigrated to New Zealand, they had metronomes. And the problem in Holland, there's a lot of cover bands playing. So they play, for instance, I Will Survive, and then the next song is still the same tempo, but it shouldn't be that same tempo. So they have metronomes and they program them, and then a mini jack into the in-ears, and it's always, so they'll be playing, drummer starts stressing because he knows he needs to kick in the next tempo for the next song, and he's like, oh, godverdomme man. And then he's looking for the metronome. He also touches his beer, which collapses. Click, 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 he doesn't hear the metronome, and the singer is like, this song is too fast, and so on. Problem solved. Did you see me touch a pad? No. I'll do it again. This is the SPDSX click. So apart from being a sampler with bass players in there and so on, I can actually use it also as a very intelligent metronome, because any of my 100 programs in there can actually have a specific tempo, which means that I can have a specific tempo for every single song in the set. And on top of this, I can just trigger with the foot switch the metronome. And I already have the tempo of all samples within this song that I need to use. Because normally with the former versions you needed to run a loop or whatever, or the keyboard player needed to give you a click. Now the drummer is in total control, because also you have separate volume control of the click. You can have separate output of the click, for instance, not to the front of house, but only to the other musicians, and preferably also the guitar player, so he can finally play in time with you. And also very interesting, you can have different sounds. You can have a cowbell, a rim click, and so on. But most important, you can just route it to your headphones without anyone else hearing the metronome. And you can just start with the drum beat without any loops involved. So you don't give away actually what you're going to play. This is what I want to show you in the next example. The SPDSX.